Hello, cousin. Today I bring you my lasagna recipe. This recipe is truly special. Once you make it, they're always going to ask for it, so get ready. This recipe is part of my holidays cookbook, 20 traditional Dominican recipes for your holiday gatherings. We're gonna start with the ground beef. I had already diced up 1 yellow onion and 1 green bell pepper, and I set that aside. In my pot going on medium-high heat, I had added in 2 tablespoons of cooking oil, my onion, green bell pepper, and 5 olives that I had sliced before adding in. I let this cook for a few minutes until my vegetables started softening up. Once my vegetables had softened, I'd added in 2 pounds of cleaned ground beef. Yes, I know I wash and clean my ground beef before cooking. I have a video for that also up in my channel. And I'm going to mix all of this together until the meat starts breaking down and changing color. Once the meat begins to darken, I'm going to add in my seasoning. So I'm going with 3 tablespoons of sofrito, 2 tablespoons of garlic paste, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, and 2 chicken bouillon cubes. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of all-purpose seasoning or adobo, whichever seasoning you prefer, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of oregano. This is still going on medium-high heat. I'm going to give this a mix, and then I'm going to add in 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. At this point, you're going to mix everything together. If you prefer a thicker ground beef, this is it for you. If you're going to serve this with white rice or you need this for a filling for pastelitos, this is the filling you want. But if you're going to make this for your lasagna, then you're going to take an extra step and add in 2 cups of tomato sauce, whether it's Ragu or Prego, whichever bottled tomato sauce you like. You're going to add in 2 cups, give this a mix, and then let it sit on the pot for 10 minutes on low heat. 10 minutes, low heat. At the end of those 10 minutes, your ground beef filling is completely done. While my ground beef was cooking, I started on my lasagna noodles. In a large pot, I brought some water to a boil and I added in 2 tablespoons of oil followed by 2 tablespoons of salt. And then I added in the entire package of lasagna noodles. This is regular box of lasagna noodles and I boiled this for 15 minutes exactly. I always set a timer. And as a disclaimer, I also never use the entire box. And if you're wondering, I have used the no-bake oven-ready lasagna sheets. Those are great when I'm in a rush and I need to save time. While cooking, I am the ultimate multitasker. I like to do things quick and efficiently with no mess. While my lasagna noodles are boiling, I'm going to work on my ricotta sauce. I washed a bunch of parsley. This is fresh parsley, and I'm going to mince it down really small. In a bowl, I'm going to add in 1 egg, and I'm going to whisk the egg, and to that I'm going to add the entire jar of ricotta. This is a 15-ounce ricotta jar, and I'm going to add this. This has been sitting at room temperature, so it's easy to handle. And to this, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of black pepper and 2 yellow sazon packets. If you don't have these, you can substitute for 2 teaspoons of adobo. Then I'm going to add in an entire bag of shredded mozzarella cheese. Combine that and then mix in the fresh parsley that we had set aside. This makes up the ricotta sauce. My ricotta sauce and my ground beef are what make my lasagna special. By this point, our noodles are ready and it's time to start forming the lasagna. And right at this moment is the perfect moment to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. By the time the lasagna goes in the oven, it's nice and warm and ready to bake. I'm going to be using a 9x13 pan. The first layer is going to be a spread of meat sauce at the bottom, followed by the lasagna noodles that I organized neatly. Over the lasagna noodles goes the first layer of meat sauce that I'm going to pour onto the lasagna noodles and spread. I don't like a perfect lasagna. I prefer a more rustic looking lasagna, but it's all up to preference. After that, I'm going to go in with my ricotta sauce and I pour this over sparingly. And then using the spatula, I give it an easy spread, nothing too perfect. Over the ricotta sauce, I sprinkle some mozzarella cheese. Cheese is also preference. If you'd prefer cheddar cheese, you do that. And then we follow the same steps. Noodles, meat sauce, ricotta sauce, cheese. Repeat. Noodles, meat sauce, ricotta sauce, cheese. For the top and final layers, I do the lasagna noodles, a light spread of meat sauce topped with mozzarella cheese, and this is ready to go into the oven uncovered for 1 hour at 350 degrees. I place a baking sheet on the oven floor in case any grease drips down so it doesn't burn or smoke up the oven. When our lasagna comes out of the oven, it looks like this magic right here. I let it cool for at least half an hour before cutting into it. And as you can see, I have a very strategic way of cutting my lasagna. 2 rows are going to be smaller and 2 rows are bigger. I say that the bigger ones are for the hungrier people, usually the men, and the smaller ones are for the less hungry people, usually the ladies. This lasagna makes me 12 slices of lasagna, but if you cut it smaller, you can probably get 16 pieces. And look at this magic when you cut into it. This is why this lasagna is everybody's favorite. This is my very honest and humble warning. If you make this once, you're never going to stop making it because they're always going to request it. And as we all know, lasagna tastes so much better the next day. So those leftovers are a hit. I hope you and your family enjoy this recipe.